Hey, this is P Complex and my friend Glengy,
How you doing, everybody?
and we're here to talk about a dumb show for young children, Hunter x Hunter. I uh, I don't know. I have the attention span of a goldfish, so I agreed to watch it with a good friend, and we're in it for the long haul.
Yeah,
And
how long is this
fuck,
here Japanimation?
God, I don't know. It's less than Naruto. It's less than Naruto.
Oh, well, I mean, in that case, I'm fine. I'll do it.
Okay. Yeah, we were gonna do because I have a lot of opinions about anime, and we were gonna do a big podcasty thing on Berserk, the new one, but I fucked that up because I am good at computers. So
Yeah, we did some really thorough testing. We really just put our heads together, and we figured out the best possible setup that we could possibly do, which we're doing right here with this professional, cool new show about a cartoon for dumb babies.
yeah, so you want to get into your background with Hunter x Hunter? What made
Um,
you want to watch it?
Well, my name's Hunter, so I mean, really, right there, that's my in, if you think about it. Other than that, it was just that it was a really simple shonen-looking thing, which kind of looked refreshing. It looked like something I could probably get into, because it has sort of a real Dragon Ball kind of feel to it. Um, and I had just kind of heard some stuff that, like, it gets really good later on, apparently. I wouldn't know, since we're right at the beginning here when the show's just it's just garbage.
I think I was a lot harder of a sell on the show than he was. I saw the Super Eye Patch Wolf video on it, and I mean he's a nice guy with a lot of good opinions. I did not really get it, like, and honestly, I kept like hearing people hype up the show, and I continued to not get it until I was essentially just like watching spoiler clips from later on, like episode 70 and beyond, and then I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll give this a try.
Whereas, I
Because I
mean,
don't.
I actually care about the integrity of, telling a story, and I don't like being spoiled. So I have only watched... How many episodes in are we? Like 30 episodes? Something like that?
Yeah, we're about 30 in. I am like 50 in because I got ahead of him. But yeah, I don't normally care about spoilers, but figured I would. I figured I would stop looking up spoilers and just watch this fucking show. That is generally, and that's a good compliment. That means I think it's gonna be good.
So today, what we were actually planning was we wanted to talk about the show in, like, chunks of episodes, and we figured, how about 10 per episode? That seems like a solid amount to talk about. Little problem with
Nothing fucking happens.
Little problem with the beginning of Hunter x Hunter. It's a slow start.
Oh god, this show takes like 40 episodes to get its shit together. It.
Yeah, I wouldn't be that harsh. I wouldn't be that harsh on it. I think it took 17 episodes.
There's like a really good spike in quality early on, and then it just goes back to kind of meandering around again.
Now, you're very critical of your Japanimes, so
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
a lot more tolerant of the kind of meandering qualities of this show.
yeah, well, I mean, it's probably a factor of how it was written. Like, when I hear about the weekly manga industry and how you can essentially be canceled at like any moment's notice, and you're writing week to week, so you're not going back and editing anything that you did earlier. I mean, that's kind of an abhorrent environment to write in.
It certainly is, and I don't think we're gonna get super in depth about just how awful of an industry it is in general, but I think one thing that we can see from the structure and pacing of Hunter x Hunter is that it really seems to embrace that sort of that sort of environment in which it was created, because the show has a very, I guess I'd call it sporadic sort of tone to it.
Okay, I would describe it as like a fifth grader, like just furiously scrawling comic ideas in their notebook. Like, it reminds me of Axe Cop a little bit.
Yeah, Togashi just kind of like took every note and just didn't throw any of them out. And just kind of like put everything on the page.
And I've just got to say, like, I'm pretty hard on it. It kept me watching for 40 episodes until it got really fucking good. So clearly something was there keeping me watching.
Yeah, I can't say that I would have really given the show much of a chance if I was just basing it on like the first 5 episodes or so. Because it was more just the matter of like, I think the character designs are cute when they're not really awful. And I think like I was just, when I started watching it, I was in the mood for like a generic shonen anime that would be something colorful and fun to kind of chill out and watch, and that's what it delivers at the beginning. So
yeah,
I was receptive.
I've never watched a shonen show past like 10 episodes, but I was kind of craving one because I'd read Gambling Emperor Zero, which me and 12 other people have enjoyed in the West, but I don't know, I just wanted something that reminded me of being a kid. And this, I don't know, I don't actually think this is that.
I don't know if this on. I don't know if this quite does that. Yeah, but I was very, most definitely one of those kids that was raised on Dragon Ball back in the day, so the similarities are really like apparent, at least early on, to like the original Dragon Ball series. Like, we have our like little kid protagonist who's just kind of a gormless idiot, and he's gonna go be strong, and he uses a fishing rod, and he's gonna be a hunter who's looking for his horrible deadbeat dad.
Oh god. Yeah, honestly, the shonen I was familiar with was kind of trying to be hardcore and cool and appeal to edgy teenagers, and
yeah, like One Piece.
Yeah, like One Piece. Like Naruto, basically. That is what I'm most familiar with. So I was really endeared at how legitimately childlike our protagonists are. Like, they're not cool. They're just...
They're like, definitely not cool. I can confirm that.
I mean, they're just authentically adorable children. And if you look at literature that tends to become timeless, it's generally stuff aimed at either children or adults. Like, there's kind of a weird in-between, like, awkward period where stuff is really trying to appeal to your desire to be seen as mature.
Yeah, we call that being a teenager.
Yeah, and I feel like that kind of stuff doesn't really survive into adulthood, whereas this thing where we're just watching these cute little children run around is, I don't know, it's more appealing. I like it.
There is definitely the whole thing of like cute kids being cute, having adventures going on. That stops like immediately.
Well,
pretty much immediately after the first like 3 episodes.
It stops, and then it gets started again, and then it stops, and then, like, as you have said, this series has a little bit of a tone problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not actually sure it's as big a problem as you would describe it as. I think it's more of a larger structural problem. I think because we don't really have very solid motivations, we don't really have much plot momentum, then it just feels like the show kind of comes to a standstill when it goes back to like the cute kid things. And I think those are more tolerant later on when we do get a little more direction.
All right, I'm definitely looking forward to the more like well-directed stuff, because so far, I mean, like, today we're only talking the first 20 episodes, so I don't want to talk too much about what goes on after, say, the first. That's close to the first full arc of the series, pretty much.
Yeah,
and I don't want to talk too much about anything that goes on after that, but like for certain, the arcs that we've gotten since episode 20 have been very meandering. Not a high point of the series for sure.
Yeah.
And the motivation's just not really coming through so well. So I'm looking forward to this supposed episode 40 that you're talking about, in which the series gets amazing.
Yeah. The other thing was, I actually think, like, a lot of shows like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure that revel in this kind of absurd, really silly atmosphere and tone, I feel like JoJo's does serious scenes badly. Like, they don't really hit very well. It doesn't have very deep characters. And I mean, it's a good show. I like it a lot, but I feel like Hunter x Hunter somehow manages to pull off its serious scenes like with a lot more fidelity than you would expect.
It definitely feels like the show is... I mean, if you're comparing something to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, like Hunter x Hunter definitely feels like it's more grounded. It exists in a more kind of fantastical world, but the characters that we see are more like believable, kind of realistic types of people.
Yeah.
At least in like the, you know, like moment to moment actions that they have and the way that they tend to behave. Cause like we said, like Gon is a really cute, really believable, like young protagonist. He's what, like 12 years old?
Yeah, 12 or so. He is just enthusiastically, aggressively friendly. He gives no shits about like pretty much anything. He's just adorable.
And he's a legitimately like pretty good character design. Like he looks, yeah, a little bit too much like just a Goku. Like he really does, but you know, he was designed what, like back in the 90s? Like that was kind of, it was a look.
Yeah, I didn't like his design at first, but I think as the show has gone on, it's grown on me. Like his little boy shorts, the booties, the crop jacket, it's like a fantasy Boy Scout uniform or something.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, like I don't really like the trend of making protagonists just like ridiculously generic, so whatever idiot audience member you have can just project themselves onto them, but Gon's a good character, so I don't care.
Yeah, I don't think he's too generic is the thing. It's like, I don't know, maybe it's the hairline sort of that I'm seeing right now. That like Gon has no bangs at all, and it looks kind of weird. But like, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what it is that really makes him stand out. Maybe it's just his stupidly happy expression all the goddamn time.
Can we talk about the animation in this? Because I feel like a huge part of the appeal here is just like the love and care that's gone into making the characters move around. Like the...
You know, shame on me, honestly, is that I tend to not process animation very much when I'm watching anime mostly. Like I tend to not notice it very much because I don't know, it must be part of my brain has just trained me to not think about it usually because a lot of anime is bad at that.
Yeah, I don't know, it just feels like there are a lot of little quirks where like the big doofy grin he's got, or the little head tilt that Killua gives in the OP, or when he's just sitting there swinging his legs. It's just a lot of work has gone into him looking like an authentically adorable little child, and I'm not sure if I would be as interested in consuming this series in comic form, where you don't get that. Because the voice acting is also, I think, a big help.
Yeah, it's solid. Like, Gon for sure sounds pretty legit. I have no idea who voices him, but they sound like a sweet, innocent boy who wants to have adventures and stuff, and it sounds nice. Speaking of Killua, like, we'll talk about him a lot more later, probably, but he doesn't... I don't think he factors in very much to, like, the episodes that we're talking about today.
Oh, God. We are going to do... I know we've gone for, like, 20 minutes already, but we're going to do a very, very loose, not very in-depth follow-through, like... how do I even put this? Like, we're going to talk about episodes as they happen.
Yeah, we're just sort of getting our general thoughts on the series right now.
Yeah. So, we can transition into going episode by episode. First episode is bad.
You think so?
I mean, it's not horrible. It's just not up to the quality that the series eventually gets
you don't like learning about, like, man, this world is super nutso, it's super crazy, there's monsters and treasures and stuff. You don't like learning about all the world building?
The world building is, like, it feels set up with cardboard. Like, it's explicitly designed to be traversed through.
It's almost like the whole entire planet that this place that this story takes place on feels like a giant game show or something.
Yeah, that is kind of the vibe. I do think we get legitimately good world building, like, a lot later, more so with human inhabitants than anything like...
Boy, that's going to be a trend for this series, huh? A lot of it gets better later.
If you look at the arc rankings, like, people voting for their favorite arcs on the wiki for this, it just shoots up ridiculously around Yorknew.
The story definitely... It lacked a lot of direction early on. Like, the creator didn't really know what they wanted this series to be yet when they started it, and that probably is why they began it with such a kind of, like, open-ended Dragon Ball-ish kind of setting. Where, it's a crazy world where anything can happen.
I almost like how Gon doesn't even know why he wants to be a hunter. He just fucking wants to know why his dad abandoned him.
Yeah, just Gon, just, like, walking up to people being like he's entering this whole, like, competition thing, and he's meeting new friends and just being like, yeah, I don't really want, like, fame and fortune and all. I don't even really want the adventure stuff so much. I just want to figure out what my dad's doing. I don't know why he abandoned me, but I guess I'm gonna go find out.
The thing is,
he says it with, like he says it like that's not even fucked up at all.
Yeah, he is ridiculously, like, genuine, and honestly, the viewer doesn't really know why we should care about him being a hunter. We don't even really know what hunters are. Like...
Say, have we learned what hunters are by episode 50?
Kind of. Not really. We know they do, like, a ridiculous number of things. It feels like you can just kind of put a word in front of the word hunter, and that makes you your own thing. Like, maybe Gon's just a dad hunter. Maybe that's...
That, you know what? That works, and he's hunting his dad, who is a hunter. Hunter x Hunter. There's the title. There you get it. See, it all ties together.
Oh, God. Have we mentioned that, like, the fucking X thing? How each episode title has an X in
every
between the words?
Every episode title uses an X instead of a space, because we're all on DeviantArt in 2008.
I can't read the titles.
No, it's
too
so
painful.
Good. No, it's good. It works.
Can I just say, in general, the series has some of the worst names I've ever seen in anime?
What, you mean for the characters?
For everything.
No, like... what's wrong with Krapika?
Like, the main four are okay first names, but you look into Gon's, like, last name, Freaks.
His name is Freaks, because he's a freak.
And it's spelled with, like, 2 S's? That's not even, like, original Japanese problem. That's...
Oh, it's not Japanese, so it's inferior.
No, I mean... Why did you transliterate it like that? Why did you put another S there?
Because it's good. This has good world building. We've established that.
Like fucking Leorio's name, his last name is either Paradinite or Paladinite. And both of them are awful. One of them is awful and, like, not even transliterated correctly. So,
good, though. It's so good.
Oh, God.
So, we start off in the first episode, just like, Gon is leaving home. And he's like, bye, Mom, I'm off on a Pokemon adventure. And the legendary I'm chasing is my dad.
He's on a boat to go to the hunter exam, and he meets his two friends.
Just a couple of assholes that we run into.
There's Leorio, who's like, his whole thing is that he's shit. He's got...
No, we're gonna give Leorio a legitimate chance and allow him to naturally disappoint us. That's what we're gonna do.
Okay, first of all, his glasses are the worst thing ever. I hate them. They're so tiny and awful.
So Leorio's thing is that he wants to be a doctor, and being a doctor is, like, expensive, so he's paying for medical school by becoming a hunter and risking his life?
Yeah, like, that's the other thing about being a hunter, is all these professions that don't actually require you to be fighting. Like, apparently people just go into those specialties, even though the exam is really violent and dangerous.
Yeah, we'll talk about the exam in a minute.
Yeah, Leorio is, like, tall and gangly. You first look at him and he looks greedy and hedonistic, but actually he just wants to help other people.
We'll talk about how hedonistic he is soon enough, because it's not great. It's a bad scene.
The
then
worst
we also...
scene in the...
Pretty much the worst scene in the show, my goodness. We also meet a second asshole.
Your favorite character.
My favorite character, Kurapika.
I have a lot of Kurapika opinions, and you're not going to hear them now. They're going to come a lot later.
They're spoilers.
We're probably going to get into, like, a really big fight over them, and it's going to be really dumb.
It'll be really dramatic. We'll get lots of clicks.
Yeah, Kurapika feels like he's from a different show, and he kind of feels like he's from a worse show. He's
the worst. He's the absolute worst. He's so bad.
He's not that bad. He's just very...
He's just so boring. Like, he has no character traits, except he's just kind of a nice, non-threatening older boy for Gon to look up to.
And he's really angry about his family.
He's getting revenge for his dead family, and he's gotta fight the crime. And that's why he's gonna be a hunter, so that he can go fight crime.
Yeah,
he uses a couple of katanas.
No, those aren't katanas.
They're
those
wooden
are like
katanas.
Nunchucks.
No, they're wooden katanas. Katana means Japanese sword, and he's got two of them.
Alright, I'm gonna question the accuracy of that claim. Fine. He fucking uses katanas. I was really surprised that he is apparently 17. He looks tiny. Like, he looks prepubescent to me.
He really looks like he's like 13 years old or something.
And that's why it was so weird to have him talking about, like, his dead family and revenge all solemnly and being all cool. Like, he was acting like a mini 30-year-old, and it was a little bit disconcerting.
Boy, it's almost like this character is kind of hard to pin down.
He gets an arc, and it's really interesting,
But that'll be for later. Don't worry, it'll get better later.
Yeah. What do you feel about Kurapika's character design?
Bad. He wears a shawl kind of thing over top of a bunch of pajamas.
His fucking poncho is so goofy. Like, I almost like it. It's so just... It doesn't... complement his character at all. Like, it's childish and bright
We're gonna see
primary colors.
We're going to see a lot of character designs that just don't really work at all in this series, and Kurapika he's sort of, boy, he can't even be, like, bad, is the thing. His look can't even be, like, actively bad. It's just kind of nothing.
Honestly, I haven't
It's so middle of the road.
I haven't seen very many character designs I'd call, like, just 100% awful. I have found a lot that are really enjoyable, though. I don't know, maybe you just...
But don't worry, those are coming later.
Yeah, so we meet our friends, and...
We save a boat from a storm, and, like, the hunter exam has already begun, because the boatmaster, the captain, is checking out how everybody deals with a boat in a storm, which I guess he sailed directly into for no reason.
Yeah, this is somehow relevant to being a hunter.
So our heroes, they team up and do something. I actually can't remember how they fix the boat storm situation because it's been a while.
No, I think that Leorio and Kurapika are, like, fighting, and then, like, one of the guys almost falls overboard, and so they have to team up with Gon to save him.
Okay, good. Good for them.
Yeah,
Boy, it's a little embarrassing just because, like, the opening episodes, as we've stated...
They're not very memorable.
They're not great.
The next time they go and they're trying to find the exam location and they get asked, like, a question by a mysterious lady, like whether they want to save their brother or their sister, or maybe it was like their son or their daughter or something from being killed. The right answer is just not to answer. Ooh.
They're given a sort of, like, paradoxical situation, like a really bad scenario that's got no easy answer. They see a guy in front of them who gives off a simple answer of, like, oh, whatever, what was the guy's answer? He was some jerk who's just like, he cares about, like, money or something, and he can, like, because he cares more about his mom than his girlfriend, because he can get a new girlfriend someday.
Yeah, that was the thing.
And he gets sent on, he gets told that he passes, but he actually failed, and he gets sent on the wrong path. And so our protagonists wait out the time limit instead, and they just can't actually come up with an answer. The joke being that Kurapika figures this out, and figures out, like, okay, we're supposed to just not answer. Gon, however, legitimately has been, like, racking his brain over, like, oh, geez, oh, man, how do I do it right? Oh, golly. And he just actually can't think of an answer.
Oh, yeah, that part was a little cute.
It was cute enough, but again, like, wasn't that, like, basically the entire episode?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And it's kind of an insulting moral for a series that actually does get somewhat deeper into characters than you'd expect for a kid's show. Just to go, the right answer is not to answer. It's a little bit insulting.
Yeah, ironically, it's a bit too much of an easy answer. The good news is, the next episode, we actually get to, like, the first one where I was like, it's good. It's pretty nice. Because their next test is they're stuck in the woods and they're lost. And they need to find where the next exam is. And the people who are supposed to give them the exam have been attacked and kidnapped by big fox monsters who are, like, running away through the woods. And so our heroes each get to, like, actually, like, use their individual proficiencies to solve the problem, which is where, like, Leorio stays behind and actually, like, does doctor stuff and fixes and patches up the person who'd been attacked, while Kurapika does something, and Gon chases after the monsters.
Yeah, Gon's thing is that he's a wild child. He has good senses. He likes animals. He's just got a good intuition on him.
And the really nice twist that we get is we get the reveal that Gon is actually a lot more competent and perceptive than we gave him credit for, because he notices that the fox monster he's chasing is a different one from the one he was chasing a moment ago. And he puts that together from the sound of their voices, which he can tell apart. Which is really, really cute. And we get, the clue that, wait, something's going on here. There's a trick being pulled over us. And we find out that actually this was totally, again, part of the Hunter exam, and the fox monsters are actually the examiners in disguise.
Yeah,
again, it's not, an amazing plot, but it actually gave our protagonists, stuff to do.
What the fuck did Kurapika do?
I don't remember what Kurapika did. I'm so sorry. All the Kurapika fans hate me so much right now. All three of them.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, Gon's thing with animals is really adorable. But, alright, next time they actually get to the exam location.
Yeah, we get to the, official beginning of the exam where all the real hunters have actually started to gather. All the wannabes have kind of been filtered out at this point, and we're down to, 200 applicants.
Mm-hmm. And they're all kind of gathered and sizing each other up, and
we get our first taste of, ooh, here's some of the real competitors and the real character designs.
And 90% of them are not relevant.
Yeah, no, most of them are still actually really bad character designs.
You know what I like is that guy, the black guy in the sunglasses and the full-on, Victorian
What did you like about him? It was an awful design.
And the fucking afro puffs. No, he was cool.
No, he looked
so cool.
No, actually, you're completely mistaken. That is a terrible costume.
No, I liked him. You know, who else is pretty good? Hisoka. Hisoka's pretty good.
Well, we're introduced to Hisoka, so I mean, first of all, very important episode, because we get to meet our real main character.
Actually, does he actually show up in the lineup when
yes.
they're just... Okay,
he totally shows up. He shows up when the jerk guy shows up and is befriending us.
It's Funai from Kaiji.
He's literally just Funai from Kaiji. So he's this fat scruffy jerk guy who's friendly, and he's hey guys, what's up? I'm gonna hang out with you guys and make friendlies with you. And he's he's been to the test a few times, so he's telling us about some of the other guys, and it's whoa man, look out for Hisoka, because he fucking murdered the shit out of so many people.
Oh god. Yeah, as far as Hisoka's design goes, I like the silhouette, because you got the big poofy sleeves, and you got the high heels, which are both things that historically were worn by men a lot.
This realistic character design Hisoka.
No, I mean, you don't get those items on men today, I guess, because they're not socially acceptable, and it makes designing male characters really annoying, because you're not, socially allowed to put them in this really fun silhouette-affecting clothing.
Hisoka has a lot of queer coding on his character in all aspects, and in some ways that don't come through super good.
Oh, yeah, Hisoka.
But we'll get to that in a few minutes.
Unfortunate implications.
Though they're not implications. That is text. That is not subtext.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah.
All
right.
We also we get a few other neat characters. We get what is the name of the guy with all the pins in his face?
Gitaracker. Gitaracker. And he rattles when he moves.
This was by far my favorite guy. Absolutely. Through his whole introduction, because he's just this tall weirdo who doesn't talk, and he just rattles anytime he moves, and he's amazing. And you're just okay, this was the artist's favorite when they were making him, and you know he's gonna just do something fucked up later, and it's gonna be great. And he does, and it is.
Gitaraku's pretty fantastic.
He's excellent.
Alright, so we transition into just jogging.
A fun run.
Yeah, they just follow the examiner, and they just, like, jog for an entire episode, and for some fucking reason, they decided to frame an exposition episode like this. Like, everybody's just expositing their backstory while they jog.
Was it even one episode? Because it felt like 3 episodes.
Honestly, I think they might have had multiple episodes of jogging.
So we're jogging for a while, and the characters end up jogging for, I think it's like 200 kilometers.
And during this time, Killua just sees Gon and establishes himself as the best friend.
So this is really funny and actually very, like, resonant with me, because when I was, like, a tiny babby kid, and I was, like, 6 years old or something, my best friend in all of elementary school was someone who, on the first day of school, I just went up to and was like, hey, want to be friends? Yeah, and it was exactly like that, so you know what? These are very legitimate child characters.
Yeah, honestly, I thought this was funny and like a poor introduction at first, but once we get more Killua development, I actually went back on that and thought, no, you know what? This is kind of an important scene for him, even if it doesn't look like it at first. So yeah.
Yeah, introduction to Killua, pretty unorthodox, but it's solid. It works. I didn't like him at all at first because
you didn't, but he's so cool. He like rides.
No, he's really not. He's so lame. He has his dumb skateboard that I love, and it's amazing. But like he is like you said, he like that scene just feels weird because like we have just a new protagonist who just kind of shows up out of nowhere. And is just like, hey, what's up? I'm gonna hang out with you now. And so, like, I had no chance to, like, warm up to him. But as he, you know, stuck around and became a real protagonist, I have warmed up to him, and now I love Killua.
What are your thoughts on the design? I'm gonna ask you that a lot.
For Killua, he's very pale. Like, all his color scheme is mostly, like, whites and grays.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if, like, the white shirt and the white skin and the white hair was a good combination, but I like, the baggy clothes, and I like how, like, he moves like a little delinquent, rolls back on his feet.
And his really good backpack.
Oh, God. Killua gets, like, an assortment of awful, awful outfits throughout the entirety of the series.
They're extremely good. All of them are good. They're all perfect.
He dresses like a legitimately fashion-challenged 12-year-old, and I like
Again,
it.
very relatable to me. Very relatable character. But yeah, Killua's paleness and like the whiteness and stuff, it works for his, you know, character background, which we very awkwardly learn later on.
I thought the reveal of Killua's background was pretty cute. But
kind of in the really weird tonal problem way that Hunter x Hunter has.
We also learn about, you know, whose backstory comes out of fucking nowhere is Kurapika. His entire family was slaughtered because they had beautiful red Mary Sue eyes, and like this thieving organization killed them all so they could sell their eyes.
Yeah, so it turns out that Kurapika's entire family got totally murdered.
By human body part traffickers?
Yup. And this just kind of like comes out between him and Leorio when they're just kind of having a rough time running.
Yeah.
I think it was in an attempt to like bond with each other and motivate each other to keep on going with the fun run.
Yeah, like Leorio's revealing that actually he's not just greedy, he wants to help other people with his medical degree. And then Karapi's, cause like,
And like
my
he has like a childhood friend who's like got a chronic illness or something that he wants to cure.
I don't
Something
remember.
like that. I want to give Leorio a chance. I really do.
I mean, I think he's a fine, like, comic relief. I don't know if we're gonna get much depth out of him. But yeah, like, Kurapika responds to this with, oh yeah, well my entire family is just fucking dead.
Like, wow, thanks. Good. I'm glad that we didn't have to make that really awkward.
So yeah, they're running through. I don't actually remember the sequence of events. They just keep jogging for a while, and eventually,
they make it out. They, like, it all just, like, all that we really see is some of the minor characters getting kind of, like, they kind of drop off.
They fucking die.
Some of them die. Some of them totally die from exhaustion. It's really messed up.
Yeah, eventually, somehow, Gon and Killua lose each other, and Gon, Leorio, and Kurapika end up confronting Hisoka.
Does that happen? Oh, that happens when they. Oh, that happens when they get outside and we're in the terrifying misty woods.
Yeah, because they don't just jog in the building; they gotta jog outside for a while. Like,
where there's lots of super tricky monsters that will kill you, and everyone dies.
Oh god. And
this starts the part in Hunter x Hunter where everybody dies.
Yeah, and nobody's really reacting to it appropriately.
Everyone dies, nobody cares.
Yeah, so we get Hisoka's introduction, I feel, is not very strong, but I grow to appreciate him a lot as a character.
He certainly gives us some characterization in this fight.
Oh, God.
Because here's the part.
Well, it starts with him just, like, fucking murdering a bunch of people, and I don't care, like, the entire test is murdering people.
No, yeah, like Hisoka just, like, he kills some nameless morons, like, no one cares. But he gets in a fight with our protagonists, where it's like 3-on-1 and nobody can come even close to landing a hit on him because Hisoka is just like a complete badass and just is the best at everything or whatever. And he's just so on a level beyond anything that we could imagine that he's like, he's part of the wake-up call for our protagonist Gon to realize, like, holy shit, I could die.
Yeah, and at one point he's like strangling Gon, and then he gets kind of aroused.
So Hisoka Defense Squad, go. It's not that Hisoka's into little kids. It's just that Hisoka has such a boner for fighting and doing murders and stuff, and it just so happens that Gon is, like, has a lot of potential, and Gon's got a lot of fight energy or whatever, and so it just so happens that Hisoka is really, really creepy about fighting Gon, and it's definitely not a problem, and this is an okay thing that we shouldn't be grossed out by. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah, like...
I don't, like, I'm fine with Hisoka having total fight boners. Like, that's great. That's legitimately great. But they could have maybe established this with a different character who wasn't the 12-year-old.
Yeah, Hisoka is generally a lot more comfortable a character to see on screen when he's interacting with characters who aren't 12.
Yeah.
And I think regardless, even if you say, like, he clearly has a fetish for the fight and not for the 12-year-old, he's still pretty enamored with Gon, as far as I've seen in the series. Like, I think it's kind of tomato, whether you consider him actually attracted to the kid or not.
Like I said, there's a lot of coding of different things going on with Hisoka.
Yeah, and it's kind of unfortunate he's the only guy we get so far who dresses who acts like that, and
It's a classic anime thing, and it's that very kind of difficult discourse thing to really reconcile, is that it's like, I love this villain character who is like a huge piece of shit and is also very queer coded.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not okay to have to the systemic degree that we do see queer coded villains, but on an individualistic level, I still love Hisoka, and I wouldn't necessarily want a different version of Hisoka who wasn't a monster.
Yeah, that's kind of almost exactly how I feel. Like, I feel Hisoka's weird fight boner thing comes into play, and it actually helps make him a better villain than he would have been otherwise. Because, I mean, first of all, it makes him abhorrent without him having to do anything. Like, he's not laying a finger on Gon.
He never actually does anything, like, overtly sexual to anyone.
Yeah, but I don't even
at least there's that.
Well, yeah, I'm coming into this knowing, or kind of hoping, that there's a line that's not going to be crossed. But more than that, I mean, it's not just he's not doing anything sexual. He's not, like, that doing very much to impede Gon. He actually helps Gon at several points, and he has motive to do so because he is attracted to this character. He does want him to grow stronger, and we still are able to hate him anyway. Like, he doesn't just become this weird, motivationless plot convenience. He is someone who we hate, and he almost becomes unpredictable. Like, he is a loose cannon. We don't really know what he's going to be doing. And that's where I think it's kind of an unusual motivation. I honestly wish there were more villains that were sexually aroused by, like, whatever they do to, like, whatever their villainous actions are, just because
in a way that would kind of balance out Hisoka's whole deal.
Not even like, just in...
So that it wouldn't just be, like, the one weirdo.
I was kind of more talking in media in general. Just, you get a lot of, like, glorious, like, idealistic motivations. You get a lot of grandiose, metaphysical motivations. I just like a character having a very concrete thing to be in pursuit of that can cause, like, a lot of, like his pursuit of his weird fucking fetish is not simple. And you get into his actions later where he's acting in a very abnormal way, and it doesn't feel like he's doing it for no reason, because he's after this very grounded thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, in a way, like we were saying earlier, a lot of the characters do feel like they have kind of... Some of their motivations aren't as clear as they could be, but they do generally have grounded kind of personalities, grounded kind of ideals, and grounded motivations for, like, things that's like, okay, I get in a pretty simple way what this character's about, what they want. And Hisoka brings a really just fun rival dynamic to the series that it really benefits from, which is why he's absolutely one of my favorite characters from it so far.
He continues to be pretty great.
Yeah, he's a consistent presence through everything that I have seen of the series so far, and I hope that he continues to be for a while.
Yeah, and oh god, we've gone for like an hour and we've only gotten to Hisoka's introduction.
No, it's good. We're gonna catch on up because we're getting to the good stuff really soon.
All right, yeah. So they get away from Hisoka, and Hisoka spares them, and he decides to spare them because he wants them to grow up nice and strong so they can fight him.
Because killing them right now wouldn't be, like, satisfying at all. And he knows that, like, if he lets this Gon kid actually grow up and become a really cool fight man, killing him will be way more radical.
Yeah. And so, what actually happens after the jogging?
We get some kind of meandering tests that don't really give us anything all that great.
Like, yeah, we get sexy anime Gordon Ramsay.
We get a cooking episode.
Yeah.
We which ends up concluding with flying off to a big canyon with like spider webs and spider eggs and giant birds, and everyone dies. And then we end up saving the day by Gon kind of like being good at whatever. It's not very good. It's a pretty lame episode. We move on to kind of like the biggest challenge that we've done so far, which is the wacky puzzle tower.
No, wait, there was the volleyball game. There was the keep away game.
There was a keep away game? I don't even remember.
Yeah, they were on the airship, and like the old... First of all, Killua reveals his backstory, that he comes from a family of assassins, and he thinks being an assassin is really fucking lame, so he like stabbed his mom and brother and ran away.
Yeah, the joke was Killua was just like, nah, this is lame. So he attacks some of his family members with a knife, and he says like, oh, his mom was crying a whole lot.
That joke is later.
That's later? Oh, I'm sorry.
That is way later.
That's way later. I remembered it from there. My mistake. It was... Yeah. Well, I set it up. I can't just leave it on like, oh, his mom cried because he cut her up. That's way too messed up. I have to finish it now. His mom was crying tears of joy because he'd become a killing monster.
We don't even have Illumi yet. He was integral.
No, it's fine. It's good. No, it's
joke.
Good. No, it's totally fine. It's good. I totally did this right. This is a good show that we're making.
Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, so the old guy sees Gon and Killua on the airship, and he wants to have a game with them, and you think it's going to be something dumb and boring like Mahjong, but actually he comes out in like a basketball jersey, and he's a really hip young old man, and they try and get the ball away from him, and this just sounds like a ridiculously, like,
it's
inane.
Actually our first good fight scene of the whole series.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, it's just... The animation completely sells Gon as this enthusiastic child just fucking around. I love it when he does the headbutt.
He does a lot of headbutts.
You remember that meme of, like, the bird in midair with its wings closed, where it's just keeping it itself in the air through the sheer force of anger alone?
Yeah, that's Gon.
Yeah, that's Gon, except he's a little boy. And
so they end up fighting and chasing for like all night long. Like all through the night, they're trying to fight with this old man and get this stupid volleyball out of his hands. And Killua eventually is just like, I'm kind of bored. I'm gonna go to bed, guys.
Yeah.
But Gon is just like, no, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
And what's great is that like the twist is that Gon realizes halfway through the whole thing that like this is impossible. The old man is so fast and so good. Gon actually doesn't stand a chance. He cannot possibly get that ball because the old man promised that like if they could beat him, he would just make them hunters right now. He'd give them their license right away, and they wouldn't do any more tests. It would be fine. And Gon realizes that this is an insurmountable task, and so what's amazing about Gon's character in this episode is that he realizes this, and instead of simply just like bashing his head against this, instead of simply like bashing his head against an impossible problem, which we're led to believe he's doing, what he actually does is he adjusts his goal. His goal actually becomes the old man's holding the ball in his left hand?
Yeah, he wants to make him change hands or something?
Yeah, the old man was saying, I'll beat you with one hand. Like, this hand will hold the ball, this hand will fight you. And Gon changes his goal to, like, I will make the old man fight me with both hands.
Yeah, and then at the end of all this, he, like, ends up he headbutts into a wall, and I think the old man makes a comment like, is he dead? Did I just kill another fucking 12-year-old as the chairman of the Hunter Association? Did I do that? But no, he's not dead.
No, it's fine. He's just got like an incredible concussion or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gon does a lot of like really stupid self-destructive things. because he's very simple-minded and he doesn't think about the consequences of his actions. So he had rocketed himself forward into a headbutt so fast and hard that the old man had no choice but to use his other hand to, like, bat Gon out of the way, or else he was gonna get the ball or something. And Gon just headbutts a wall really hard.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of characters that do stupid stuff, they're annoying about it. I think with Gon, just because he is so genuine, it's cute. It's also cute.
Gon does a lot of really stupid, life-threatening things in this whole arc. It's really bad.
Yeah, it honestly gets kind of harrowing.
So off of that crippling head injury comes the
Y'all like Fukumoto Nobuyuki? What is his fucking name? I fucked that up.
I don't know, he's just Fukumoto.
Yeah, Fukumoto. Y'all like Fukumoto?
Because it's time for the puzzle tower, where our characters get split up into teams kind of arbitrarily by falling through panels on the roof of a giant tower, and they have to make it down to the bottom of the tower in 72 hours. And there's, like, puzzles and games and tricks and traps.
And we get paired with Funai.
Yeah, the guy who tried to poison us earlier on before the fun run. He tried to put laxatives in our drinks, because he's actually a huge asshole.
Yeah.
And so our team of protagonists get paired with a fifth guy, and it's this jerk. So we have to deal with his crap for like 72 hours, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I don't really remember what they do, but then they go into that big room and they show
have
off.
like there's like a voting system, and it's clearly setting up like a prisoner's dilemma sort of thing.
That never really comes
That
to
actually
fruition.
doesn't become a prisoner's dilemma. It never actually does that, which was really weird. So we end up getting into like the main challenge of this test, which is the protagonists go into an arena room with 5 criminals that the Hunters Association has set up with a deal where if they can win, they'll have their sentences lowered.
Yeah, and these are some pretty hardcore criminals. Like,
yeah,
you got
super like murderers and thieves and bombers and stuff.
And tax evaders.
Yeah. The tax evader is the best one by far. So we get into like so it's 5 prisoners versus our 5 team members. So it's like, again, this is a good kind of way to like bottleneck your action set pieces, where you set up a mini tournament arc. Basically, this is what a tournament arc is always for in a series like this. Where
Togashi doesn't really like tournament arcs.
He apparently does not like tournament arcs, because boy are they always stymied, and this one's no different, because in this tournament arc each of our protagonists gets set up against, one individual opponent, which is always, it's an opportunity to show what each character does on their own, what they contribute to the narrative, what they contribute to the team and the action and all that. Every single one of these encounters is completely, you get completely blue-balled on every single encounter here.
Honestly, that continues for a really long time.
And that's a trend that we see in the whole series, basically.
Like, this series goes on a ridiculous amount of time without, like, getting in a satisfying 1v1 fair fight.
And that's really fun, is the thing. Like, I love simple anime fights between characters. They're fun, they're great, but this series really seems bent on subverting that expectation.
Honestly, a lot of times when it tricks you out of getting that satisfaction, it gives you something better.
Yeah, it tricks you into something you didn't know you actually wanted.
Like, this show sucker punches you a lot. Like, it really subverts what you're expecting, and because of that weird tone dissonance, a lot of times it just hits like a brick.
Yeah, and like so we get a bunch of like twists and turns, and some of them good, some of them bad in this couple of episodes right here, where we're stuck fighting some prisoners.
So we start out with Tompa against like this big buff tough guy, and he just surrenders immediately.
Yeah, the big buff tough guy goes in for a flying death punch, and Tampa, who is Funai, he just immediately cowers and gives up.
Yeah.
And that's it. He's just like, fuck it, I don't care.
And
I'm not gonna die.
It is revealed that he doesn't even want to pass the hunter exam.
Yeah,
he just
it's
wants
not
to
clear.
wants to make everybody else fail.
It's not clear what his motivation is. He's just a jerk.
Yeah, that's his whole thing.
What's really fun, spoilers a little bit for this sequence, is how in the whole trap tower, he never really redeems himself ever.
No.
He just kind of stays a complete asshole the whole time and never ever gets better, and that's great. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, and alright, who was up next? Was it Kurapika?
It was, no, it was...
It was either him or Gon.
It was Gon next, who goes up against the bomber,
Yeah.
who says, here's a couple of candles, and I'm gonna light both of them, and each of us takes one, and whichever one goes out first is the loser?
Yeah.
I don't remember what Gon does. I think he loses.
He blows out the guy's candle. Like, he gives him a candle, like, doused in gasoline or something, so it's going down really quickly. So he just goes up to the bomber guy and blows it out, and then he wins.
I forget how I don't remember how Gon tricks him into that, but he does something. It's really dumb.
I liked Bomber's character design, though. Like, as this
good.
Skinny little kid with, like, oversized, almost like what you'd wear in, like, an asylum or something. The white clothes.
That's probably what it was based on. So, next up is the best part, by far.
I thought you hated this part. Like,
No, I loved this part so much that I was distracted from the part of it that made sense. I thought it was being silly. It's Kurapika versus this gigantic Frankenstein zombie man.
Who is in for tax evasion?
So he's in for all these horrible crimes, and he's the toughest, most badass man ever, and there's 19 hearts that he has tattooed on his chest, and each one of them is a person that he's totally murdered for real, and they're dead for real.
And he's also got the
he's
Phantom
looking for
Troop.
number 20.
He's got the Phantom Troop spider tattooed somewhere.
Yeah, because he's a real Phantom Troop member for real, for sure, and he's a tough, evil badass who's killed tons of people. And he's so scary and so muscly that you have to give up. You can't possibly fight this guy.
And he just happens to go against our fucking protagonist, whose tragic backstory is that his family was murdered by the Phantom Troop.
Murdered by the Phantom Troop.
So he just goes into a big fucking rage and kills it. Well, not kills him. He knocks him out in like 5 seconds.
He kicks the shit out of Zombie Man so fast, because Zombie Man's whole thing, of course, if you pay attention to his actual list of crimes that it lists in his introduction, it's mostly just tax evasion. It's amazing. He is the best. It's so good.
But then they ruin it because Kurapika was aware the entire time that he wasn't an actual Phantom Troop member, and I thought it would have hit a lot harder if he did think he was the real deal.
Yeah, I was too obsessed with how extremely good Zombie Man was while we were watching it that I didn't even listen to Kurapika talk, because I hate him so much.
Oh, he's honestly not as bad as you're making him out to be.
He's bad.
He's just nondescript.
He's bad.
He gets either better or worse.
So, after that is Leorio in the worst scene of the whole series.
He wants to touch a vagina.
It's not that he wants to, it's that he has to. Shut up, it's fine.
No, but he loses his challenge because he wants to touch a vagina.
No, it's not that he wants to, it's that he has to.
But that's...
So the next one is just time for Kaiji, because we're gonna bet on stuff. And we're gonna bet our remaining hours, because we've got we've wasted like 12 hours or whatever on all this garbage. And we have like 60 or 50 hours left or whatever to get through here. And so the lady prisoner is all like, let's do some betting, let's do a gamble. And the bets involve like, hey, is Zombie Man actually dead, or is he just pretending to be dead and sleeping? Which Leorio literally almost murders the guy over. And it's stupid, and it's funny because it involves Zombie Man, and I love him so much. But then the final gamble is the lady does a question of, hey, oh wait, we also do a rock, paper, scissors thing,
That
right?
comes after. That comes after?
Oh, okay, wow, alright.
Yeah.
So the main gamble that makes this the worst is the lady asks a question of, hey, am I a girl or a boy? So you know this sequence is gonna be just excellent. Because anime is really good about doing this.
And if he gets it wrong, he gets to confirm by groping her.
Yup.
And one thing I will say about this scene, after he of course chooses boy, does not show the groping. This is not
just a cutaway discretion shot.
Yeah, and him
at least there was that.
This is honestly less skeevy of a show.
It's really skeevy in this moment.
yeah, but I'm just saying
nothing else in the show has come anywhere close to anything that bad. So
yeah.
if anyone listening, if you're worried about that as a consistent problem, it's not. It's just one weird out of place moment.
The series is a sequence of weird out of place moments.
Yeah, basically.
So yeah, then we move on to rock, paper, scissors, and she's freaking Leorio out.
It's just Kaiji, but not good.
The one part I did like is they're talking about the psychology of like, well, if you're scared, you're not going to choose paper because you tend to close yourself off, and like Kurapika comes to the conclusion that it would be best to use scissors, and he's like whispering among himself with Gon and Killua and the rest of the team, and then Gon just goes and shouts it out, hey Leorio, you should use scissors. And it's just like within earshot of everyone. It's so cute. You're a credit to the team, Gon.
Gon continues to be super great, even though Leorio is the worst.
Then it's Killua, and Killua is up against
the final prisoner, who is just this shitty old man.
He's a mass murderer, and he gets like the best 5 seconds of screen time.
He murders all his victims with his bare hands, and so he introduces himself.
He just drags his bare hand through the brick wall, and it's so random, but I love it.
It's extremely good. It's so extra. I love it so much.
And then, Killua just kills him right.
They just have a fight match. Let's do a killing fight match right now. Whatever. And this guy's like, all right, sure, I'll beat up this kid with my bare hands and win. Whatever. And then Killua just kills him in literally 1 second with his stupid assassination powers, and he just rips his heart out, and it's really stupid.
Yeah, and our team is a little bit fazed by this, except for Gon.
Yeah, no, it's messed up. No, Gon doesn't care. Gon doesn't give a single shit about anything.
Oh, God. But I think they gave up hours or something during the game. So
they lost. They did lose the overall thing.
Yeah, so they got to like wait out the remaining time in an enclosed space, and the challenge here is to put up with 2 high maintenance children who are...
Yeah, it's kind of just a big sleepover for like 50 hours.
Try and skateboard in a tiny room. They start like fishing stuff off of Leorio and whatever.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's not a very interesting episode. It's certainly a bottle episode. It was mostly about like we're gonna give the protagonists a break for a bit, and we're gonna go check up on like, hey, what's everyone else doing? What's Hisoka doing? Oh, he's killing some people? Alright.
I thought Gon and Killua's like genuine friendship in this was pretty cute, because they're legitimately doing kid activities together.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's just that it's like, yeah, like it is definitely establishing them as very adorable, and they're just doing like a kid sleepover stuff. It's nice, but like it's not very interesting as a plot.
Yeah. One thing I was confused by was when like they have a pillow fight at some point, and then it cuts away, and then it cuts back to them, and then they're just like throwing the pillow back and forth really fast, and I don't really know what that was. Like, is that a game?
They say that, lion cubs, they play with each other in order to practice their hunting skills.
But is that a fight? Is that just them playing cats? Like, is there going to be a winner there?
They're training their nen.
Okay, well...
That's a reference for a thing later.
I don't even remember what you're referencing. Okay, so they get out...
I'm referencing Nen, the superpowers of the series.
What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, what are those? Those don't exist yet, because the writer hadn't come up with that yet.
It takes a ridiculous amount of time to get to the power system.
It takes a satisfying amount of time to get to the superpower system.
And then you don't even figure out, like, what makes it good until the entire next arc.
It takes a satisfying amount of time to get to the superpower system.
Yeah, but the thing is, people are doing superpower things already.
Oh yeah, like Gon is capable of jumping like 30 feet in the air and running for 10,000 miles or whatever.
Yeah, everybody's doing the Naruto run and the Naruto tree jumps, and Killua's just got, like, he can turn his hands into claws,
and so it's established that that's just kind of like normal-ish physical abilities for people in this setting. Like, whatever, it's anime, who cares, that's fine.
Yeah. So they get out, and there's still another challenge.
There's one more challenge, and here comes the prisoner's dilemma that didn't work at all.
Yeah, like, Tonpa is trying to foster animosity between, like, Leorio and the rest of the group. But the thing is, it was entirely Leorio's fault.
Yeah, so they have sort of a conflict thing. Tonpa's, he's trying to make Leorio feel really guilty for the thing that he's 100% guilty of. And it doesn't really work, because Leorio is such a piece of shit.
Then we get into, like, you can take the long path that you don't have enough time for with all 5 of you, or there is a path you can take with just 3 of you.
If you sacrifice 2 members, then you can take the path that only takes, like, 2 minutes.
Yeah, and then they just have helpfully provided everybody with weapons to just
a whole bunch of weapons to decide who stays and who goes. And now, to be fair, if you sacrifice your teammates, you, like, chain them up on the wall and they get released after the test is done. They just fail. You don't have to murder your teammates.
But you should. You can.
That's what it's implying. You can if you want to. We're not forcing you to kill them.
Nobody cares if anybody dies.
No, everybody dies. Hunter x Hunter, everybody dies.
Yeah, so here is the first of, like, an interesting narrative technique they use where you kind of jump to the conclusion of events before it's revealed what happened in
it very much cold cuts to, like, after something happened to make you, like, wonder, like, whoa, how did they get to this? What?
Sometimes this is used kind of pointlessly. Sometimes I do actually think
I think it worked really well right here because it completely got me.
Yeah, where, like, Gon and Killua and what's his face? What was the other one?
Kurapika, yeah.
They were just walking out and they looked
They made it to the end. They made it in time at the last seconds. And they look real tired and real just, oh god, it's awful. The things that we did in there.
Oh god. And then a bit later, you just see Tonpa and Leorio walk out behind them.
But then the other 2 guys come out and it's like, what? How did they do it? Because it actually was a prisoner's dilemma the whole time. If you sacrifice your friends, you actually fail. Oh, I get it. No. That's not what it was. Not at all.
No, the thing is, this is an alternate universe in which concrete was never invented, and nobody ever learned to, like, fire their ceramics.
Yeah, all the walls are just like rocks and bricks.
Yeah, they're just dirt. They're just made of dirt and water, and so apparently they just smashed the...
So Gon noticed that the axes on the walls when Leorio and Tonfa were just going at each other, they were gonna kill each other. The axes they were swinging were like smashing up the bricks and stuff. And Gon noticed like, hey, wait a minute, something's up here, and he comes up with a plan. So they all go on the like long path to like,
and then they smash
to keep
the
all
wall
of them, and they just
over...
smash open the side of the wall over into the other path.
You know, honestly, this would be a silly enough resolution. This is not the last time a twist like this happens.
No, there's tons of this. It's amazing.
I'm not even saying just in this vein. I'm saying this kind of happens again. Just
good.
Spoilers.
Good. No, good. Good. That's what I want.
Alright, so after that we go to...
We've cleared out all the tests. It's down to... Oh, no, wait. There's one more test remaining.
It's the good test.
The really good test. The part where I would say the point where the series actually legitimately gets great.
Yeah, it kind of finds its footing for losing it again in a few episodes, but it
it stumbles, but like this... right around in this scene, in this whole challenge, this exam, this is the part where I think is the first scene of the series that I was like, okay, this is great. Like,
yeah,
there had been good things here and there that it was like, this is really dumb, but I'm liking this, I'm going along. But the scene, well, we'll get to it in a minute, I guess.
Yeah, so they're basically each given a number, and everybody has like a name tag, and they've got to get the name tag of the person with the number they have.
We take a boat to a deserted island.
And everybody just has got to kill each other. That is the thing.
You have to steal the number tag from the person that you're given. You're given a number randomly. Everyone just picks them out of a box, and that is your assigned target. You have to get the tag from that person. And did you remember who was that number? If not, too bad, because they might hide their name tag.
The thing is, most characters hide their name tag. Gon and Killua, they
just don't give a shit.
They don't care. It's so cute.
Well, because like Killua is just like, I can beat up anybody who tries to come after me. I don't care. Gon just doesn't think of it.
Yeah. And so Gon gets the number of Hisoka.
Yeah, which is amazing. That was the best. That was such a good decision. Like, and Hisoka does not get Gon's. So Hisoka doesn't even remember whose name tag he's after. So he's just gonna fuck off and hunt whoever, because if you can get your target's tag, that's 3 points.
Yeah, or you can just get like 3 other tags for 1 point.
But each other tag is worth 1 point, so you can go beat up 3 guys and you're also good.
Yeah, and also he likes beating up guys, so...
And he just likes killing people, so like he doesn't care. He'll just take tags from whatever. He doesn't care. And so our adventure mainly focuses on Gon figuring out how to hunt Hisoka. Like, as a hunter, like an actual, like, big game hunter out in the wild, which is really cool.
Yeah, he's hunting birds with his fishing pole as they go in.
Gon is doing that, like, Full Metal Alchemist thing when they're on the deserted island, and they're, like, observing nature as it's happening, and they're figuring out, like, philosophy shit.
Gon's not very philosophical.
Not quite that. Not quite to such a degree, but Gon is, like, observing how nature works, how hunting, and, like, he's watching bugs fly onto the water of a river where they are eaten by a fish, and the bird swoops in as the fish is eating the bug to swoop in and catch the fish.
And that's when he's got to go in.
And so that's when he's got to go for the bird. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
And like, he learns to do it, and he, like, catches this moving target, and he's like, yeah, I gotta get a moving target, or else I'll never be able to beat Hisoka. I'll never do it then. But now I can fight Hisoka.
And it's really adorable, because even after overcoming that cute challenge, and we love our little child protagonist, he's just completely outmatched. Like, he stands no chance.
We know for sure that Gon doesn't stand anything close to a chance at actually fighting Hisoka. And so every moment where he's, like, trailing after him and, like, hiding in bushes is super tense.
It is just this looming sense of overwhelming dread. We don't want him to, like, get Hisoka's tag. We don't know what's gonna happen if he does.
We're just, like, urging Gon to just leave. Just give up, go away, please don't do this. But
we forgot the best part. The best part, he realizes that there are these butterflies that are attracted to blood.
That's cool. That's really edgy.
Hisoka's shoulder was bleeding, so he... Like, we cut away from Gon for a while after he learns about the butterflies, and when we get back to him, he's just got, like, a couple of butterflies on a leash.
He's got a bunch of butterflies on strings that he has tied around them for little butterfly leashes.
He's using them like bloodhounds, and it's the most adorable thing ever. I love it.
It's great. It's wonderful. So, as Gon is trailing Hisoka, we get a really cool scene where some warrior dude that we've been introduced to earlier is just like, I'm gonna fight you, Hisoka, so I can get your tag. And Hisoka's just like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Because the warrior guy is dying of a really bad bleeding wound and apparently wants to just, like, die in the glory of battle, and Hisoka's like, this is boring, I don't care.
Yeah, he doesn't fight back, he just dodges.
And so the dude just kind of, like, keels over dead.
No, he is killed by Gitterrucker.
He is killed by Gitterrucker.
Then Gitterrucker comes in. It is revealed that he and Hisoka are buds.
Yeah,
they are friends.
They've been hanging out.
And Gitterrucker takes the pins out of his face, and we get, like, this
amazing sequence.
This lovingly rendered transformation sequence where his face just, like, freaks out.
Disgustingly morphs into a different face.
You know what my comparison is here? Is when you're, like, you know that button you press on the Dark Souls character creator?
Yeah, no, it's that. It's that in Fast Forward, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going through all those different face options, and then it is revealed he is actually a fucking weird-looking pretty boy.
He's kind of just a slightly generic pretty boy with really cool-looking eyes?
Yeah, I like his face because he's got these weird big eyes with massive pupils and these just very raised eyebrows. He almost doesn't look human when you put him...
He's got a kind of alien sort of look to him. He's very cute.
Yeah, it's not very congruous with the other characters.
And so to give us just... this is a character named Illumi.
We don't know that yet. But
we don't know that yet, but whatever. Whatever. To give us their first impression of Illumi and what he does...
He just digs a hole in the ground with his bare hands.
He just says, I got all the tags I need, so fuck it. I dig a hole in the ground, and I'll sleep here for the next few days.
Yeah, how long does he stay down there?
For the rest of the test.
Yeah, that's
he just chills out.
He just stays down there for at least 24 hours.
No, it was like 4 days.
Okay, he just buries himself alive.
Illumi is amazing and great, and so he just digs a hole and sleeps.
Alright, yeah. Then we get to a meeting where we get some stuff with Kurapika and Leorio, and we meet Monkey Man. Monkey Man tries to
Boy, Monkey Man didn't get any screen time, huh?
No, and it's a shame, because it was a good character design.
He was cute, and he's teamed up with, like, Tonpa or whatever, because Tompa's still around and still an asshole. And it's really just sort of like a cold cut kind of scene of, like, they're running away, and then Kurapika shows up and just beats them up.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. And then we have Leorio and Kurapika, they've teamed up again, and they're together, and they're gonna hang out and do whatever they want. Who cares? Because that doesn't matter. We're getting to the good scene now.
Yeah, Hisoka confronts Leorio and Kurapika, and it's very tense.
No. This is wait, is it right now, or does the really good scene happen before that?
I don't know what the really good scene is.
Where Gon actually, like, goes for
No,
it.
that is after. That is after.
Okay, that's after.
Gon
Okay.
is observing as Kurapika and Leorio, like, have this very tense interaction, and he doesn't do anything real threatening. But
Oh yeah, Kurapika kind of just gives up. Like, okay, take our tags. Like, Hisoka will kill them otherwise.
Yeah.
So Kurapika's just like, let's leave.
So after they walk away, or after they get away, he's kind of aroused from that interaction.
Yeah.
He just stands in the forest for like till it's
No,
night.
wait, right. No, it was because it's not just that Hisoka's aroused. It's that he was super blue-balled by that moment, and now he's got his fight boner and he doesn't know what to do with it. So he literally just stands in front of a tree all night long, just being really salty about it.
Then he just like runs off and he makes a Junji Ito face.
He notices somebody else is still alive near him and is like, well, that needs to be fixed.
Just runs after them, just fucking murders them.
He goes to like just super murder this old man, and Gon like follows after, and he's like, oh shit. By the way, Hisoka's got this like insane aura of horrifying killing intent, which like almost kills Gon.
Is that a thing here?
That was a thing right there, yeah. Like, it's not, we don't know what that is yet, but like we're shown that like, whoa, Hisoka's got something going on, and like his bloodlust presence is enough to like almost kill Gon.
Well, I thought Gon was just disturbed because Hisoka is creepy.
Maybe that was it, but like, it's implied to be that what that thing is that we see later.
Yeah, but I think regardless, this is a situation that would unsettle a 12-year-old.
Yeah. So, Gon follows after Hisoka to watch this fight happen, and just like, I would say that this scene and like the next few minutes was like episode 17 or something.
Yeah.
And this was like the first moment for me that I was like, this is great. I feel emotionally invested, and this feels really good.
I absolutely agree. Like, we argue about taste a lot, but I honestly think the series has affected us very similarly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's really, it starts getting really good right here, which is the moment where Gon, after all of his like hours of training, observing nature and observing like, okay, when the fly shows up over the water, the fish eats the fly because the bait has been laid, and so the bird notices that the fish is making its move, and that's when the bird makes its move. So Gon notices that the fish jumping is the bait for the bird that makes its move, which is when he has to make his move, and that's when he gets the bird. And taking that important hunting lesson, he waits for Hisoka to attack whatever the old man was. I don't remember. He was just an old man.
Yeah.
And Hisoka is going after that dude, and he's going for his killing strike, and at the moment where Hisoka's about to strike, Gon throws his fishing line and catches Hisoka's tag off of his chest, and he gets it!
Yeah, and just as Hisoka finishes the murder, there is just this dawning realization on him.
This incredible moment where we see them just kind of, like, Gon like gets it, and he's like, yeah, I did it, I got it! And now you have to stand out there in the open, exposed, right in front of Hisoka, who just realizes that you got him.
Yeah, but just the expression on Hisoka's face at this point, like, Hisoka has a lot of very good expressions, very, like, subtle expressions, and just this beat where they're just looking at each other is incredible.
It's really good, it's super tense. I like I said, this was my favorite scene. And then we move on to Gon running off, just going like a bat out of hell to get away, only to be knocked out by another guy who turns out was the guy who was hunting Gon this whole time.
Yeah.
The guy with the terrible costume dress Victorian kind of prince outfit.
Yeah, and the Afro puffs. He was cool.
So, like, we've known for a while that, like, he was, like, stalking Gon and, like, watching him train and stuff, and we knew that, like, we kind of knew this was coming, but, like, he hits him with a paralysis dart, and so he steals Gon's tags, all of Gon's hard work, gone to nothing, except...
Hisoka comes in and just murders that guy.
Just
gives him the tags back.
him right out of that. Just completely straight up murders that guy. Leaves the corpse right in front of Gon's face. And just drops the tags back in front of him and is like, you earned it. Fuck it.
And
you got these. You earned these. Here, take them, kid.
He doesn't want to accept because he's a fucking idiot.
Yep.
He's so dumb.
Because Gon realized that he got. Gon was hunted fair and square, and he doesn't want to accept this, like, pity prize.
Yeah, so...
And that's really cool of him, actually.
And so what Hisoka does is, like, punches him in the face so he goes flying, and says it's something like he's just lending him the tag, and Gon can give it back once he is able to do that to Hisoka.
Mm-hmm. So Hisoka continuing to, like, feed into the whole rival thing.
Yeah.
Just like, you're still shit. I punch you in the face. Pay it back to me sometime when you're not shit anymore.
Like, honestly, there are very few motivations that would have worked to let a character do that. To just fucking help them and let them off the hook, but also be a legitimate threat and endgame villain.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of where the fetish thing works, narratively.
It works to me because it doesn't, like, explicitly feed into Hisoka's fight boner. Anyways, we go into a snake cave. The cave of snakes.
Leorio goes in there first. Does he get bit or something?
He gets bit by 10 million snakes.
Yeah, we gotta get Leorio his target's tag, because he's shit.
We gotta sort of wrap up that thing. We gotta carry him through this whole thing, yeah. Gon and Kurapika go into the cave. And we're stuck in the cave because Snake Man has left a snake curse on this cave. And died from snake bites, so, like, way to go, Snake Man, way to go, you dumbass.
Wait, did he die from snake bites?
He died from snake...
I thought he died from anaphylactic shock.
You're right, sorry, he died from bee stings, was the thing.
The girl with the bees in her hat.
She has a big dumb hat with bees in it. So
and
when
they come out of it,
bows,
even though there are no holes for it. So the bees just phase through.
What an awful character. What an awful character.
It's kind of a nice scene because you go in and you don't really know what's going on, and neither the girl or the dead guy, who you don't really know is dead yet, are explaining anything. So it's just kind of a tense scene to let sit a little bit until it's revealed that the snake curse is what did Leorio in, and this girl's also trapped there.
So in order to get snake antidotes that Snake Man has on his corpse, which is covered in snakes now, Gon just sort of, like, body slams a big pile of snakes.
I don't actually remember that, but that sounds like something he would do.
He jumps into a big pile of snakes that are just biting him like crazy, and he just drags the antidotes out, because who cares? If I can get the antidotes, who cares if a million snakes eat me?
Yeah, so Gon to the rescue again.
Yeah, Gon just kind of does everything and carries the team as always.
Yeah, the girl also has, like, sleeping gas, so they're gonna put the snakes to sleep, and Gon just holds his breath.
For, like, 10 minutes.
And carries everybody else out.
Gon continuing to carry the team.
And also, Killua is just, like, fucked off during the entirety.
Killua left on his own path. Well, you know, he needs his personal space sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that. He goes off and he fights these, like, baseball triplets.
It takes, like, 5 minutes, and then we don't hear from him again. He doesn't have any trouble whatsoever.
Yeah, no. Like, he just, like... Killua just, like... he's being hunted by one of these brothers, and it's just dumb, and Killua doesn't care at all because he's way better than anybody here. And basically what ends up happening is Killua just trolls the hell out of these guys by beating them up enough and threatening them enough that he just takes all their tags off, and instead of taking their tags, he just throws them away to the other side of the island and says, "Go get them." And then he just leaves. And also there's a bald ninja who has been watching us the whole time, and he's like, "Whoa, that was pretty wacky, huh?" Okay.
He has the weirdest eyebrows where they're each hair is individually
no, it's good.
Upwards.
They're very good eyebrows. They're great eyebrows.
Alright, so anyway, everybody has enough tags, and they go and they turn them back in, and there is an interview. And, Netero's asking, what was it?
Who have you been paying the most attention to? Who do you least want to fight?
Yeah, so we get that answer from a bunch of
And why do you want to be a hunter?
Yeah, and Hisoka basically just reveals right away, well, it's easier to get away with killing people if you have a hunter license.
Yeah, there's a weird amorality kind of angle to the whole hunter association, because you can, Hisoka literally just says, I can get away with murder better if I'm a hunter. And they don't care. They'll let him do it anyway.
Yeah, and I feel like this actually kind of conflicts with something they're talking about later. I don't know.
It'll be fine. It's good. I'm sure it works perfectly fine.
Yeah, so Hisoka passes. They don't mind that he's a murderer, and...
No, everyone there's no one's failing the interviews or anything. It's because Netero wants to...
They should be failing the interviews.
It's just because Netero wants to set up the next test and he wants to personalize it. So he does these interviews.
Test.
It's an awesome test. It's so cool.
It's ridiculously unfair. What?
It's super unfair and it's awesome.
What skill set have they even been cultivating? With the fucking cooking exam? And
so the next exam is just a tournament arc.
Is a tournament arc?
It's a tournament arc that's completed in one episode.
It's 2 episodes, actually.
Whatever. It's a tournament arc that the deal with the tournament is 2 important rules. Anyone who wins their match is out of the tournament because they win. And they just get their license. That's it. That's the last test. They win. Anyone who loses continues to the next round of the tournament, and the last person who loses doesn't win. They fail.
So only one person loses because that's not going to foster animosity or...
Netero really likes fucking with people. It's actually really fun. The second important rule of the tournament is it is not a matter of knocking out your opponent. It's not a matter of beating up your opponent. It's only you lose when you quit.
Yeah, and also if you kill a guy, you get disqualified.
If you kill them, you lose. And if you admit, I have lost, I give up, I can't do this, then you lose. Mm-hmm. So it's actually just that those guys from JoJo whose stands are when you give up, then you get your soul. Which I think is an awesome dynamic, and I love it so much, and that's why I like this part.
I love how, everybody just exploits it, and nobody gets a satisfying fight.
No, yeah, it's so weird and dumb. I love it.
They're just all abusing the system to ridiculous degrees.
Except for Gon. The very first match is Gon versus the ninja guy, and what immediately happens is Gon is ready to fight, and he's getting into his fighting stance, and he's like, I'm gonna punch him, I'm gonna fight him good, and he gets immediately knocked to the floor and just obliterated.
Yeah, and this kind of continues. I don't consider myself someone who is generally someone with a weak stomach, but this just goes on for so long with Gon getting the shit beat out of him.
Gon refuses to give up every single time he's knocked down. and he
There are,
keeps
like,
getting up.
legitimate child being punched until he vomits sound effects, and like,
Yup.
it's just very uncomfortable, and he makes a lot of choking moans, and it's just...
So essentially, the ninja guy basically just like, he keeps going with it. Like, he keeps hitting Gon over and over for hours.
He threatens
knocks
to break his
Gon-
arm,
Knocks Gon to the ground and threatens to break his arm.
and then he does, because Gon
And he
does not give
breaks
up.
Gon's arm.
And it's just... This is
It's
agonizing.
amazing. It's so good.
It comes out of nowhere, because we
Yeah,
haven't really...
It all gets really dark right here. Like, it's weird.
Like, we've had violence, but we haven't had violence with this much emotional resonance, like, that actually mattered this much to characters,
So-
and so it
so
just
Gon-
hits you.
Gon is, after hours of being beaten to a bloody pulp, Gon is standing up still with his broken arm, just being like, I refuse to give up, because I've decided I'm not going to quit. And so the guy gets out a big-ass knife, and puts it to Gon's head, and just says, like, you should give up or else. But the thing is that Gon understands the rules of the tournament and says, like,
You're not allowed to kill me.
if you kill me, then you're disqualified. And I'm not going to give up. So there's still nothing that you can... There's nothing that Ninja Guy can do to him. And what's really weird is the mood whiplash that happens here when Ninja Guy starts getting really flustered.
Yeah, like,
Because his interrogation tactics and his, like, torture tactics just aren't working on this insane child.
yeah, he gets cold feet because he doesn't want to do it anymore. He doesn't want to torture this poor little boy, and
like, it doesn't even feel like it's because he doesn't have the stomach to, like, torture Gon. It's not even that. It's just that he realizes, like, it's not working.
yeah.
And, like, what else can he do to it? Like, he could break the rest of Gon's legs, won't make him quit. Like he could, like, he can't do anything as long as Gon just won't give up. And he can't kill Gon or else he loses. And he obviously doesn't want to kill Gon. Like, he doesn't want to hurt Gon at all. Like, he's actually a pretty nice dude.
Like, he gets endeared to Gon because Gon doesn't hate him. Like, he doesn't have any look of anger or anything when he's being tortured.
Yeah, that's a little...
And then suddenly, like, the goofy music comes in, and it's
the tone
really
changes,
jarring.
The tone changes drastically because it gets... the scene starts acknowledging the awkwardness of this dynamic. Mm-hmm. Where, like, the guy is just getting really, like, flustered, like, why won't you give up? Like, stop it. No, quit it. And Gon just refuses to quit, because he's like, Gon's argument is that, like, what can I do? I can't do anything, because I can't quit, but I also can't die. So, and like...
They get into the stock anime humor emotions.
Yeah, it gets a little weird with that. I don't like it when they do that.
I don't... Like, honestly, this is the only show I've seen that doesn't bother me with those, but in this particular moment, it's a little bit...
Like, they don't do it often.
Yeah, I think the music cut just kind of is weird to me. It just made the transition clumsier than it could have been otherwise, as the realization suddenly dawns on you that things are just getting silly. But, like, it happens a lot of times in the series where the music just cuts in, and
it's very heavy-handed with the soundtrack sometimes. Yeah,
you just hear it every time. You never, like, don't notice. It never just underscores an emotion that was already there. It's just, like, very, very clumsy. And I'm not sure, like, the same tracks get used a bit more than I think they should be. Like, I don't know if the soundtrack was just
I think
smaller.
They just don't have a whole lot of songs.
Yeah, I imagine they probably spent most of it on the animation, because I think this is generally a lot more consistently well animated than you would get out of a series like this. Mm-hmm. So they budgeted it.
So basically, we end up at this, like, total standstill, and the tone starts getting really awkward and weirdly light as everyone just gets kind of flabbergasted at this nonsense that's going on, because, like, how can this happen? And And so just like realizing that there's nothing he can do, the ninja guy gives up. He quits.
Yeah, and Gon doesn't accept it. Gon doesn't want to lose. He doesn't want to win in like an unfair fight.
A lot like the way that Hisoka gave him the tags and he refused, and he tries to give them back.
Yeah, he doesn't want to win by people's sympathy. He wants to win fair and square.
Which is weird, because he almost entirely wins by people's sympathy in most of the series.
Yeah, so Ninja Guy has to knock him out so he won't protest, and then he surrenders.
Yep. And so that's our explanation for why we don't see the rest of the tournament.
Mm-hmm. And so we wake up to Gon in the bed with his broken arm, and he won.
We get an actually pretty touching sort of monologue from one of the examiners talking about being a hunter and the responsibility that comes with it.
No, but wasn't he saying, like, well, we used to just accept anybody who wanted to into the organization, except then bad people became part of the organization. And it's just like, you're not vetting people for their morality or what they're going to do. Like, your organization is a liability. You're just giving...
There's some weird inconsistencies.
Like, people...
This show has a tone problem.
You're just... The bad people still get the license. It's just, it happens to be the cream of the crop of bad people. They just happen to be the really powerful ones that are actually threats.
Yeah.
And so then we go back and Gon wants to know who lost. And obviously we're expecting...
Obviously it was Leorio.
Yeah, because he's shit.
He's shit. How would he not lose?
But it was Killua.
It was actually Killua.
Probably the most qualified person to have actually passed that.
Yep, Killua. Well, the thing is that Killua was so good at fighting and killing.
He's so good at murder.
So good at murder that he got disqualified for it.
Yeah, so Killua's first fight, he just surrenders to show off because he's a shitty little kid.
It was against... Who was it against?
His name is Pakal.
Sure, that memorable character. Was he the guy with the bow and arrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, he sucked.
So then he goes up and he's against Gitterrucker.
Who, we know, transforms into a different dude, and when he does the transformation in the fight, Killua gets really scared.
Oh yeah, this is his brother.
This is actually his brother Illumi.
I just love the interaction here.
This is the second, great scene.
This is honestly the kind of scene I don't usually like, and you were getting on my case when I was talking about that, where, the evil family member comes in and...
Was I getting on your case?
You get on my case about everything.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, because he's saying weird stuff. Like, he's trying to get Killua to go back home, be an assassin, and Killua just wants to be friends with Gon, and he's kind of embarrassed about, coming out with that. And Illumi just thinks this...
It's this amazing scene that the whole fight that they have takes place in a few minutes of them just standing in front of each other.
Yeah, there is no fighting. They're
with
just
Illumi
talking.
just kind of bending down to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
And the things Illumi says are these startlingly abusive things to Killua. Killua, it's becoming more established that Killua has been someone who has been abused and brainwashed for his entire life.
Yeah, Killua seemed kind of startlingly well-adjusted for his upbringing for the first few episodes we'd seen of him, but here we're really getting the sense that he doesn't feel like a normal
He doesn't
kid.
Act that way around his big brother.
And honestly, when he was just going up to Gon because they were the same age, it was really out of a desire for normalcy. Out of a desire to really feel a connection with another person. any other person outside of this stupid goddamn family. And it's just...
So, it's this amazingly tense and, like, dramatic and tragic scene that we get between these brothers, where Illumi is saying about how, like, this... Well, he's trying to get Killua to come home. He's saying this was... like, there's no point in doing this hunter exam. What are you even doing? And Killua is saying that, like, he doesn't want to be an assassin anymore. He just wants to be friends with Gon, and he wants to be a hunter. Like, whatever. He can do what he wants. And Illumi just fires back immediately with, "You don't have friends."
And that's a weird thing to say that I would probably get, like, a little ruffled if a more serious or realistic character was saying it, but Illumi is bizarre.
He's a weird goof.
Yeah, he comes off as this big ditz. Like, he has this very sort of scatterbrained, almost kind of monotone but emotive, like, voice. And he's just, it's almost like he's luring people into a false sense of...
He's very soft-spoken.
Yeah. Like, he is smarter than he's coming off. He comes off like he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Like, he's very oblivious, even though he is kind of manipulating things a bit behind the scenes. And
yeah, he comes off, like, just wonderfully creepy, really. And oh, sorry, this scene is just so good. I'm gushing a bunch. It's just really good because, like, he starts bringing out these, like, threats of, like, okay, well, you clearly like this Gon kid a lot.
No, it's the reveal there. Like, Killua just wants to be friends, and Kurapika and Leorio yell at him that, well, what are you talking about? You already are friends. We are your friends. And Illumi just reacts deadpan to this. Oh, well, that's not good. I better go kill him. And one of the reaction shots we get to this is Hisoka, who is not very pleased about that.
yeah. I thought we were friends, man. I called dibs.
Yeah, and so he's just pondering this to himself, but I need the hunter license, and if I kill Gon, I'll get disqualified, so I guess I gotta beat you before I go kill Gon. And the only way you can stop me is to fight me. And he's just got his hand up.
He's just, like, almost non-threateningly just kind of holding his hand out in front of Killua's face, just, like, inching it a little bit closer. And Killua is terrified.
He doesn't move, because he's had it hammered into him that you don't fight someone you can't win. And this develops into a really good arc later. We kind of lose it for a bit, but this is just the good start to a character arc.
So Killua is faced with a serious dilemma, a test of his friendship and his faith in his friends.
And unlike most protagonists, he can't do it. He can't risk his life for Gon.
The thing is, the wonderful tragedy of this scene is that Killua is faced with this very stock kind of problem. He has to choose, like, will he risk himself by, like he cannot fight Illumi. He is not a match for his big brother. But will he put himself at risk to save Gon from his big brother?
And he can't do it.
He can't. He cannot do it. He's too scared. He's too weak. He can't stand up to his big brother, and it's fucking heartbreaking. And then it is Illumi so awful.
Just goes, well, I guess that proves you didn't really care about him.
Yeah, I guess he really wasn't your friend after all. That's good.
And then he
That's
just
a relief.
Goes, oh, don't worry, I was joking about it. And he just morphs back into this very goofy, airheaded persona. He just lets out the most awkward, doofy laugh and pats Killua on the shoulder. And
then he just leaves. He just goes.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. What a good scene.
This is a good scene. And then some other stuff happens.
There's some other, like, catching up stuff. Bow and arrow guy lost or won or whatever. Who cares? Kurapika
Kurapika fights Hisoka, who whispers something to him and then gives up.
Yeah, it's mysteries or whatever. Leorio does something. Who cares? He also wins. No, wait. Leorio gets into a fight with that old man that almost died on the island.
Yeah.
Problem is, Killua was still standing in the arena when that match started. For some reason, they didn't sort of shoo him off.
He's so, like, fucked up and disturbed after that whole thing.
He's very distraught.
He just fucking kills the guy. He kills the guy.
He kills the old man, and because of that, he disqualifies himself. He loses, and Leorio wins by default, I guess? What a fucking loser.
That was just kind of a spectacular finish. I thought, well, here we go. The series has finally found its legs. We don't really get very good follow through.
It stumbles a little bit here and there, yeah.
But so after Gon hears about this from the Examiner, he marches straight up to the room that has all the other people who have passed in it, marches right up to Illumi, and that is how we end episode 20.
Yeah, Gon's pretty mad. What's he gonna do? I don't know. I have to wait and find out for next time.
So, we have gone on for a ridiculous amount of time.
We covered 20 episodes. I think it'll be easier to cover 10 at a time from now on, but it's it's really just that the series has a very slow start.
Mm-hmm.
There just wasn't really enough to cover that's worth talking about in the first 10 episodes, so anyone who wants to check out this show, I mean, like, we've just spoiled a whole bunch of it, really.
Give it 20 episodes.
Yeah, give it 20 episodes. Like, episode 17 was the first one where a really good scene happened, like a great scene happens, and 20 was where this other great scene happens.
Well, I just think it's unfortunate, because if you were writing this all at once instead of, like, in a serial fashion, you could have gone back and cut out the parts that weren't relevant.
Yeah, there's so much kind of, like, not filler, like, there's not really much in terms of filler in this show, but there's so much that is kind of padding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Before we go, we should talk about the OP and the ED.
Yeah, we can end off with that. That's appropriate enough.
The OP it felt like the most
generic. So good. No, it's so good.
It felt like the most generic thing ever, but then after 40 episodes or so of the same thing, it's kind of endeared itself to me.
It sort of catches on. You realize, hey, yeah, I can smile again.
Jesus Christ.
I can do that.
Then we get the ED by the worst band in Japan.
The best band in Japan.
Oh, God. You know, I've seen people who really like this ED.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
This one, like the Kaiji opening that they did, I actually like it. I enjoy that. I enjoy that OP just because, like, the song is dumb fun and very bad, but I can enjoy that ironically. And animation-wise, that Kaiji OP is really fun.
Yeah, the Kaiji OP animation is good, but the thing is, the Screamo, like, auto-tune...
The auto-tune and the Screamo together.
It's really tonally inconsistent for a series that generally has, like, this moody guitar thing. And then suddenly they just decided auto-tune Screamo was also appropriate for this show about little kids.
It is so much less appropriate in Hunter x Hunter.
It is ridiculously dissonant.
It's amazing, and the ED doesn't make up for it either. Like, it's the animation's rarely good. It's so... This series has a tone problem.
Yeah, like, the thing is, the actual series itself had a tone problem, and then you added on more with the music.
It's quite a thing to behold. Everyone should check it out. This show's pretty good, actually. I'd recommend it.
All right, give it 20 episodes, and if you're getting into it, give it 40 more episodes.
It's a lot to demand, but honestly, like, I'm at episode 30 something now, and it is getting really good, and I'm seeing a ton of potential for the future, and I really do want to see where it goes with the rest of this, because it's really getting
honestly,
its own legs.
You haven't even gotten to the good part of that arc.
Exactly. Like I want to see more. Let's watch some more tonight.
Sure. We can go do that right now. So
you know what? Let's go do that because we've been talking too long as it is. So
Christ,
we should sign off by saying we're gonna go watch some more of this dumb baby anime for idiot babies. Bye bye.